Welcome to Netherwing Hollow, in a hidden forest untouched by humans. Fairies thrive. The world is split between light fairies and twilight fairies. Light fairies keep nature in balance, orderly and bright. Twilight fairies are chaotic, mischievous, and not trusted. Our story follows four Bad Fairies expelled from Fairy Academy. They're known as Snitch, Hexa, Blitz, and Flicker. Expelled and exiled at the annual Fairy Games, the foursome ruins the show. They turn the queen's crown into a frog, hilarious but forbidden. As punishment, they're banished to the Thornlands, cursed to exile. Snitch shrugs, "We're not bad. We're brilliantly misunderstood." But something dark stirs beneath the Thornlands. And soon, even their jokes won't be funny. Trouble in the trees, strange things begin happening across the fairy realms. Flowers wilt, animals sleepwalk, and light magic flickers. Queen Lysara suspects a return of the Wormshade, a fairy-devouring entity. The light fairies tighten security and increase patrols, but the real danger is leaking from the Thornlands. And the Bad Fairies may be the only ones close enough to stop it. The Forbidden Scroll. While exploring an old burrow, Blitz discovers a glowing scroll. It speaks of a sealed nightroot, a prison of ancient magic. Flicker, who secretly reads old Fire, translates it with awe. They realize the nightroot seal is cracking open. Hexa warns, if the Wormshade gets out, it's the end of Farrakhan. Snitch grins. A time to save the world our way. A deal with the Crag King. To reach the nightroot, they need cragstone dust, rare and guarded. They travel to the Goblin Marsh to make a risky deal. The Crag King, a greedy stone goblin, agrees to help for a favor. They must retrieve his lost horn from a nest of sky serpents. Armed with bad jokes, glitter bombs, and bad plans, they succeed. The Crag King warns, "You can't prank your way through fate." Queen's warning. Meanwhile, Queen Lysara receives a vision from the Moon Lotus. It shows the exiled fairies protecting the realm. Impossible. She sends her elite guard, led by Sir Aelric, to find them, but not to help, to stop them. She still sees them as threats, not heroes. Her mistake may doom them all. Race to the root, the Bad Fairies reach the entrance to the nightroot seal. It's guarded by ancient traps and old forest spirits. Hexa uses chaos magic to counterbalance the protective wards. Snitch accidentally awakens a slumbering bog beast. They barely escape, but notice the seal glowing with cracks. The Wormshade is almost free. Flashback. Why they're bad. In a quiet moment, Flicker recalls the past. They were never bad, just different, creative, unpredictable. Punished for bending rules, not breaking hearts. The Academy never made space for wild magic. They were banished not for darkness, but for being unboxed. They vow to change that. The Light Guard attacks. Sir Aelric and his team catch up with the Bad Fairies. They attack thinking the four are summoning the Wormshade. Blitz and Hexa try to explain, but magic flares. Flicker is wounded, Snitch captured. The others flee into a tunnel beneath the forest. Now it's rescue and save the world mode. The Queen's choice. Sir Aelric brings Snitch before Queen Lysara. She interrogates him, slowly realizing he's telling the truth. The Wormshade is real and freeing fast. Snitch dares her. "We may be bad, but at least we care." Lysara reluctantly sends reinforcements, but it may be too late. She whispers, "If they fail, all light will die." The Wormshade awakens. The seal breaks. Black smoke spills into the sky. The Wormshade rises, part shadow, part storm, all fury. It consumes memories, turning fairies into hollow versions of themselves. Even magic struggles against it. It feeds on spells. The forest begins to rot as panic spreads. When only the Bad Fairies remain unfazed. Operation Chaos. Snitch escapes using mirror dust and reunites with the team. They form a reckless plan, use prank magic to distract the Wormshade. Blitz builds exploding joke vines. Hexa spins illusion traps. Flicker creates a light of pure laughter, a rare Fey energy. They lead the Wormshade on a wild goose chase. It's risky, loud, and completely ridiculous, and it works. Sacrifice in the smoke. During the chaos, Hexa is pulled into the Wormshade's core. Inside, she sees all the past fairy failures and doubts, but she clings to the memory of her friends. She burns through the darkness using unstable, wild magic. The explosion injures her, but weakens the Wormshade drastically. She falls unconscious. The others carry her out. Light and Twilight unite. Queen Lysara arrives with her Light Guard at last. She sees the Bad Fairies protecting her realm. In a bold move, she joins her magic with theirs. Twilight and Light fuse into a radiant nova burst. It hits the Wormshade's core, fracturing it. For the first time in ages, the realm fights as one. The final blow, the Wormshade tries to flee, splitting into shadows. Snitch hurls a prank bomb filled with memory essence. The Wormshade is forced to relive every joke, every laugh. It begins to melt, screaming at the sound of joy. Flicker lights the last flame, and the Wormshade explodes in light. The forest breathes again. Heroes? Maybe. Queenly Zara kneels before them. You saved us all. The realm starts calling them other wild wings. Snitch smirks, a bad to the bone, but good in the heart. They're offered return to the academy. Hexa shrugs, we've got better plans. A new academy for misfits and rebels is born. New mischief begins. The Wild Wings travel from realm to realm, solving magical problems. Not with rules, but with wild, unpredictable solutions. They inspire young fairies to embrace difference. Sometimes they get in trouble, but they always fix it. They remain legends, chaotic, clever, and caring. Their motto, order's fine, but chaos is fun. A lingering shadow in the ruins of the Nightroot, something twitches. Small wisp of shadow slinks into a tree. A dark chuckle echoes. A balance never lasts. A mysterious masked fairy picks up a fragment. The cycle of mischief may not be over. To be continued? Post-credit scene 1. The goblin Marsh the Crag King opens a letter. Dear Crag King, we borrowed your horn again. We'll return again. We'll return. Maybe. He sighs, sips his tea, and smiles. Those little pests. I'm proud of him. Behind him, a tree sprouts wings. Oh, he mutters. Here we go. Again. Post-credit scene 2. Fairy Academy, a new student walks in. Wings torn, hair on fire. Hi, she grins, and names Ember. Got expelled from 4 realms. A teacher faints. The headmistress sighs. And from a window above, Snitch watches, laughing. It looks like we've got a new recruit. A cue glitter explosion and chaotic music.